All right, this is 1.3, day 2. It is on evaluating piecewise functions and relative maxima and minima. Here's the assignment. Okay, piecewise functions, I couldn't actually write it the way that I needed to with my computer software. So as you can see, there's f of x equals and then a big curvy bracket to kind of grab both of those lines together. So what is a piecewise function? A piecewise function basically says that you have two choices. It's like going to Valley Fair and there's a certain standard that has to be met in order for that choice to be made. So there's a lot of signs at Valley Fair that say you must be at least this tall to ride this ride. So usually that's 48 inches. So you're either going to be more than 48 inches and you can ride the ride, or you're going to be less than 48 inches and you can't ride the ride. And sometimes if you're exactly 48 inches, yep, then they'll let you ride the ride then. So that's basically what a piecewise function does. It gives you qualifications for what can happen after that. So, for example, this example talks about hours of work and how much you get paid. So, if you work up to 40 hours a week, you just get paid the regular $10 an hour. But if you work more than 40 hours a week, then you get paid an extra $5 an hour for every hour you work more than the 40 hours. So, every question is going to fall into either this category or this category. Question number 1, if you work 38 hours in your week, that would fall into the first category because 38 is less than or equal to 40. So you would use that function, 10x, not the other one. However, the second part here is 47 hours a week, hours in that week that you worked. So that would fall into the second category. 47 is greater than 40. So you would exclude the top function and you would only use the bottom function to solve that problem, 47 being x. Here's another example of a piecewise function. This piecewise function, again, gives you two choices. You pay $20 a month for your cell phone plan if you use between 0 and 60 minutes, but if you go over 60 minutes, you have to pay another 40 cents a minute for those minutes over 60. So, if your cell phone is used 40 minutes in a month, that would fall into the first category. So your bill is simply $20. However, if your cell phone you use 80 minutes, 80 is greater than 60. So you would use this function to find the total cost, t being 80. So you see with piecewise functions, you either use the first function or the second function, not both. And these help you make that choice based on the value for t, or in the first two examples, x. The second topic today is called relative maxima and minima. A relative maxima will be a point that's at the top of a peak. All the other points next to it are lower than it is. Or a relative minimum is a point that's the lowest point compared to the points around it. It's the bottom of a dip. So there's an example on page 158. If you look at graph A in example 3, there's a point at the bottom that's a minimum that goes through the origin. And then there's a point, I think it's over in the first quadrant up here, like that, that's 2, 4, that's the top of the peak. So you're simply telling me what the point is here for any relative minimum, and there can be more than one, or at the point at the top of the peak for any relative maximum values. And again, there can be more than one.